Black Liberation Day. Black Liberation Day. Oh, what a great day that must be when all of Africa is free. Are we ready?
We're ready.
We're getting ready. We're ready. Okay, we give thanks. Sanibonani, Absheni, Dumelang, Salam, and Salamu Alaikum, Salamna. Greetings to everyone. There are so many ways to greet in all of Africa, and I give thanks for being present in this time. My name is Menzi Kagudu Masego. Gudu is my father's name. Masego is what is called a surname. I am hailing from a country called Azania by liberation fighters, but it is called the Republic of South Africa officially. I'm from KwaZulu Natal, a place where Nguni people live. The natives of that land are called the Nguni people, Amazulu, and many, many, many others. I would like to open today with a brief prayer and a brief, what would we call a grounding ceremony. I prepared some libation. I've prepared some impepo. What you see burning here before me in a clay pot is helichrysum. With this helichrysum, I am going to stand up. Hopefully my camera doesn't disappoint me. I will move my chair back a little bit because I'm going to do a libation. There's a blue candle burning behind me because according to the ancient Kemetic or Dendera calendar, we are in the season of Nut, not the month of Nut, but the season of Nut, the sky mother, the great goddess of the sky. So with this Holy Christian, I like to give thanks to all our ancestors, those who came before us. We'd like to give thanks to all the great mothers and the great fathers. We would like to give thanks and we would like to welcome them in this place. Welcome their spirits. We know that their bodies have become part of the soil, have become what the elements, part of the elements. Some of them have become part of the waters, those who drowned in the Middle Passage, those who surrendered themselves and would not submit themselves, would not submit to slavery, and they jumped overboard in those ships in the Middle Passage. We like to remember them this day, on this auspicious day where we are remembering people of African descent. We are remembering all the people in the diaspora, what we call the living spora. With this incense, with this Holy Christian, the incense of the mountain, the incense of the twins, the incense of the rivers, the incense of the veld, the incense of the wilderness, the incense that our ancestors love to inhale. I would like to wish them peace, those who have gone before us. I would like to wish them safe passage to the land of the stars, to become luminaries so they can shine upon us and guide us and lead us to liberation and emancipation. So with this Holy Christian, that is for them. And for us in the present, I would like to ask everyone to just take 3 deep breaths. In silence, just take one deep breath in, hold it in, remember your ancestors, remember yourself, remember that they live in you. And breathe out. Take one deep breath in, hold it, be attentive to the water moving within you and the water moving beneath your feet and the waters above. The waters above and the waters below. Let them cleanse us, let them unify us, let them help us, let the water help us to live and walk in solidarity and long life. Breathe out. Take one deep last breath in. inhale the incense, even in your imagination. Let the incense and let the light and let the water permeate within you, cleanse you from within, and allow your ancestors, their strength, and also the future, the ancient future. Let it unite us, solidify us, grant us the grace, grant us the harmony, and grant us the strength and the vision, technical abilities, and the spiritual strength to forge forward in this great transition from the old world into the new world. And with that, I would like to pour some seawater into the plant because I'm in the house. I'm going to usually pour it in the ground. There is some seawater with some sea element, sand, and everything else inside. I would like to pour it into my pot plant to give thanks to those who went before us. Great Nzinga, great Muhumusa, Queen Naya Bingi, Mbuyane Anda, Didan Kemati, all the elders in all the 18 corners of the world. Give thanks to the mothers and the fathers and the grandfathers. Give thanks to the future, the ones who are coming before us, the ones who are within us. And with this water, we pour this libation. We wish them peace. We grant them peace and we grant ourselves peace and we receive it. Ashe, Ashe, O Queen. And then lastly, I would like to take this light, which is burning on top of a buna, a pot, which is, I forgot what it's called, but in Ethiopia, they use this pot for coffee, but I am using it as a candle holder. So with this light, I ask the congregation that has gathered here today to be united, to be enlightened, to be visionary, to succeed, to have the fire of truth burning within all of us so that we may all proceed in truth, in righteousness, in ma'at, in ubuntu, kuko konke esikwenzayo, in everything that we do. Let this light from this blue candle, this indigo candle, shine within us and shine before us. In our dark night of the soul, let it illuminate us. And also in our days of joy and in our days of darkness, let us remember this light, that it is the light that shines from above and it shines from within us. And let it always carry us in our long walk towards the liberation that we seek. Bless this congregation, bless this gathering, O Most High, praying to the Most High, the creator of all the universes, creator of all the galaxies, who goes by many, many names, which I shall not mention, or respect for everyone and everyone's creed. Ashe, Ashe. Let the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart be acceptable in the sight of the Creator and in the sight of the children. Ashe, siyathokoza, siyakhanyisa, indlela mayikhanye, konke makuhambe kahle. Let everything proceed beautifully and fruitfully. Ashe, siyathokoza, siyabonga. And lastly, excuse me, I forgot to pour. This is beer, but it's non-alcoholic. I'm going to pour it also exactly where I poured the libation, in remembrance of our great ancestors and in anticipation of the great children that are going before us to fulfill the great work. Amen, amen, amen. Ashe, Ashe, Amako. Thank you very much, everyone. Siyathokoza.
Thank you, Menzi.
You're welcome. Excuse me, these kind of ceremonies usually take a bit of a while, but we want to make sure that time is of the essence. So we did a summary of the libation, but we give thanks for everyone being present here. And I give thanks to my ancestors for the opportunity to do this. Of course, Ashe. This room is full of incense, guys. I wish you guys could smell it. There's sandalwood here, there's helichrysum, there's so many things burning, but it's feeling good. And I send it to you
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
That's
Even for
Thank
us
you.
Chinese, we do it as well in traditional Chinese medicine. Yeah, so I can imagine how it feels.
Mhm.
I'm saying it's from Ghana, but it's made in Turkey. One of our great ancestors, Runoko Rashidi, who wrote a lot of books about African presence globally, he said the sun never sets on the children of Africa. So you can go to Indonesia, you will find the children of Africa. You can go to Burma, you will find them. You go to Australia, New Zealand, America, Canada, Alaska, Iceland. We are all children of Africa. Every single person walking today. So give thanks.
Only one question: is your boom in China?
Well, in China, I have a sister by the name of Naledi, and I have another sister by the name of Andy Swa. I have a sister. You know, it's mostly sisters. Funny, you guys are marrying my sisters. Hey, you brothers. I hope you are paying the cows. Even you are from Africa. Everyone is from Africa. I can't name every country in the world, but Africans are everywhere.
Thank you, Menzi. Asante sana.
Thank you, Manzi, Vanessa. Thank you so much. Just I'm feeling as we are celebrating together in the same home, on the same table. It's very inspiring and wonderful. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Wale is here. Are you here?
Who are you asking about? What?
I am here on the phone, Vanessa, but I'm not settled yet. I'm still in transit. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So please feel free to say what you feel. We're gonna use chat and because of time, but feel free to share anything that you have to share with this community now in chat. And I will go ahead and invite Nathan to tell us a little bit about this community that we're in today, the Acopphe community, also called Africa Community of Planetary Partners for Health and Environment. So I will welcome you, Nathan, if you can. I know Nathan is at work right now, seeing patients, but we're hoping that he is able to get a little time to share with us.
Thank you, Nightingale. And thank you, Menzi. Yes, I am doing a bit of multitasking, but really excited to connect and happy to be together as we celebrate our shared connections and aspire to restore the unity of all life, of all creation, and all humanity by remembering our roots and reconnecting with those deep and powerful roots, just as Menzi has reminded us in such a powerful way. So I want to begin by building on what Nightingale shared about today being the International Day for People of African Descent. We thought, as that applies to our Acopphe community and Acopphe family, we would want to celebrate our shared beauty and diversity and talk about the ways that we are building planetary communities in Africa and beyond. So with that idea, we begin by celebrating each and every one of you, each and every one of ourselves, just to be as grounded as possible, as stable and mentally well. We know that we need to have the connections with friends, with allies, with like-minded planetary partners who recognize our connections to each other, to our ancestors, to the children, to other life forms, and to our shared home on planet Earth. And so with that, we want to also give a quick overview to anyone who is connecting for the first time, a little bit about this early idea, concept of Acopphe, the Africa Community of Planetary Partners for Health and Environment, who we are, where we came from, and where we hope to go together through connecting both virtually in days like today and also in our physical communities, in our workplaces and in our homes where we have our friends, colleagues, and loved ones. So I'll just try and do a quick screen share and see how this works. Anyone who is unable to see, please let me know. I'm going to try and just show 2 slides. So this is just a presentation that gives the written description about our name, Africa Community of Planetary Partners for Health and Environment. So Africa is where we began, where our roots are in physical places and communities, but it is not something which is restricted to these political borders or even the geographic boundaries. It is a concept about Africa and the planet being our shared home. Then the next word, community, being very much our commitment to really building trust, building familiarity, celebrating the diverse relationships that we have with each other, and even ideas like vulnerability, sharing our needs when we need someone to listen to our hopes and dreams, and collaborators, partners, co-creators in trying to live life to the fullest, not just for ourselves narrowly defined, but much more so collectively as life forms on planet Earth. Then the next words about planetary partners. We talk about planetary health. We also talk about planetary community, planetary imagination, planetary consciousness, even planetary love, being the very broad way that we see that we have an opportunity in this day and age for technology to bring out the best in us if we bring out the best in ourselves and connect with people who share these values. Then the partnership idea is really wanting to recognize that there is planetary health. There's also One Health, Eco Health, Climate and Health, Traditional Ecological Knowledge, Global Health, Community Health, Maternal Child Health, Public Health. So many different dimensions and angles for health, but we see that it's important to intentionally do outreach where we can avoid the competition and the narrow divides, and see that health is something which touches everyone, and it is also fundamentally interconnected with our shared natural environment. So that's what we end with by saying we are for both health and environment. That's a way of saying we are for people and for other life forms. So with that, that's just a brief overview about our name and some of what we feel in the way that Acopphe or Acopphe is derived. And our vision, we celebrate the beauty of diversity of language. We looked at how we could try and pick some words that combine to make a word outside of the English language. And we picked one from Swahili, the word hasa, which means especially in Swahili. And so HASA, those letters come from Healthy and Sustainable Africa for All, being the vision, the endpoints that we are dreaming about and actively working to build together. And as we already referenced, that one includes everyone because what happens in Africa is certainly connected to and related to what happens all over the world, for better and for worse, in peril and in promise. And so even if you are not located in the physical parts of Africa, we can say a healthy and sustainable planet for all is more or less what we mean there. And also recognizing how important language is to communicate, to connect us to our cultural, linguistic roots, and to recognize that that is true for others who speak different languages, languages of the heart, of the mind, of the soul. So we also see the importance of using these languages because it's truly a planetary crisis along the lines of biodiversity loss and climate change. What is happening with the loss of the indigenous languages of which Africa is so richly endowed. And so that is something that we are aiming to commit to in our shared time, to use these languages to raise awareness about their loss and to ensure that that loss is reversed and eliminated so that that element of diversity is thriving once again. So then our mission, we can summarize this by saying hope reworn is the letters that these words make up together, HOPEREWORN, and that stands for healing ourselves and planet Earth by reuniting with our roots in nature. So today is such a great opportunity to do that, thinking about our roots in the natural world and in the continent of Africa. And by reconnecting and reuniting with our roots, we feel that we will truly heal ourselves, our fellow human beings, and even the planet that we share as our common home. That is what we aim to do together. And through that, we envision that we will be able to achieve our shared vision. Then we list a few of our core values, which, just to name a few, diversity, Ubuntu, unity, peace, humility. These are all the things which we share together and which, as we look to grow beyond our small teams at this point into a sustainable organization that has ties to specific places and to specific work that is happening in organizations and communities. These are what we will use to see who it is that shares this commitment to service and ultimately to love that transcends borders and boundaries. So we also have an objective that we are looking to register in the near future, aiming for Kenya as the initial base, and then hoping in the near future to have the official registration, which opens up many doors and opportunities in other locations. So we're piloting in Kenya, but really looking for leaders in other parts of the world so that we can build this community and have those stable organizational and foundational groundworks. But the objective that we are aiming for is to build dynamic partnerships with friends, family, children, and allies for healthy people in loving communities and diverse healing environments on a healthy planet. And so with that, I will kick it back to Nightingale and the other members of the Acopphe executive team who will present today about their connections to Africa, Mona, Vanessa, and Walia, and really invite all of you to think about what is being shared and think about how we can connect with you. We are here to serve you. We need you to be a part of our team and to help us lead and to translate these ideas into real impacts on the ground. And so thank you all again. And we look forward to all the beautiful things that are ahead of us together on planet Earth. Let me try and end the broadcast.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you for sharing. And if I can just request you to make me co-host real quick. So I will welcome Vanessa real quick.
Yeah, so shall we take a picture of the group right now? So we guarantee that. Would you like to do that? Opening your cameras for just a minute so I can register. How do you feel about it? Yeah.
Yes,
So,
good idea.
hold on. So I'll count 3. Samuel, Kagudu, William, Ali, are you coming? Where should I go? Martin.
So Vanessa,
You can't.
oh. I'm stuck in traffic. There's a very
lovely.
bad time to
Wherever
try and get
you
home.
are,
so
it's lovely.
This is just one of the wonderful.
So I will do it, huh? Last minute to join. 1, 2. Oh, Martin and Kagugudu, Havard, Samuel, it's coming. 1, 2, 3, and woo, done. Let me see. We only have 1 page, right? 20. Okay. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm from Brazil, but I really have a very strong connection with you guys, deeply. I cannot really talk about it, that I get emotion, really. It's very serious. I don't know where it comes from. Well, actually, I have an idea because my grandparents, they are from Bahia, from both sides of my dad. So, you know, in Bahia, it's like strongly connected with Africa. So I'm sure I have you in my DNA memories, and maybe that's why I feel so emotional being with you and being part of this. So I'm very grateful to be accepted, not accepted, but I forgot the word, but to be here. And I will share with you, I just separated like a few images from Brazil. I mean, Joelita and Donovan, you know the connections. I will ask excuse to, if I can share that. Let me see if I, oh God, this connection. Let me see if I can do that, by the way. If I can share my screen. Compartilhar. Actually, it doesn't appear. Maybe, okay, let me see. Maybe I can't. Oh yeah, hold on, it appeared. Oh, let me see. What do you see? Do you see anything?
Yes, it's there, Vanessa.
Okay, great. Okay, so it's just.
But there's an echo on your side.
I will just.
Candomblé.
Exactly. I mean, this is all Brazil, huh? Maybe you're feeling familiar, but this is here. This is the orishas, the nature, the force of nature. This is a ritual for the orishas. The food is very important. So it's like special foods for each orisha. It's like a gift for them. This is acarajé from Bahia, the Baianas. It's made with a bean Very nice. Our feijoada, it's our legacy from you. And this is the samba. The samba the whole world knows, it comes from you. The capoeira and the berimbau. Oh, the berimbau one. You see one berimbau. If we have time, I will show you a berimbau show. It's almost done. Ungo. I mean, I just learned about it. We have like a tail or, yeah, that's it. It's just, okay, let me get it out. Yes. Interromper. Oh, it's the messy, the messy view. Yes, so that's what I just gathered. It's just a little part of what we have as a legacy from you guys here, and makes, you know, that's what makes Brazilians such a warm people. Let me see if we have time. I'm not sure. We could share the guys playing. Let me see. The berimbau, so you can check it out. I will send it to you. I mean, actually, I was here. I'm not sure if we have time. If we have, I will share this in the WhatsApp group, so you can put it. So thank you. And it's very nice because just one more thing, you know, I think Global South have the same challenges in a way. So, you know, I hope that we can bring our voices that were for so long hidden and all our knowledge that are so valuable for our anthropocenic challenges, very high, and that we get together and make this change, share with the world all these things that we know about nature and about life. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Vanessa. Thank you very much for your share. And I want to see if I can share a little bit about the other one that you had shared. This is the way that we can share now because we're not able to see each other in person. So the next best thing we can do is share. Vanessa, by the way, is a dancer. I don't think you mentioned that. So maybe the next time Vanessa will share a dance by her. But here's the other one from Vanessa.
Thank you. As I forgot to introduce myself, I will do this in the chat. I'm sorry, I completely forgot.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Yeah, because otherwise the time is short, right? I'll do in the chat.
Yes, you can. You're welcome to do it in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing your culture and the beauty that lies. So I think I'm gonna check with Ellie and to see, Ellie, are you ready, or would you like me to give you a little bit more time?
Not yet. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, is it Kajelcha?
Yeah, I think Rocha been raising her hand. I don't know whether you have seen or not.
Oh, who raised their hand? I missed it.
Rocha, I think.
Okay, yes. Please feel free to come in.
I got to go, guys. So see you when I see you again. I got school in the morning. It's like midnight here. So bye.
Okay, thank you so much, Shen. Good night.
Thank you.
In Singapore. Okay.
Bye, Chen.
Okay, so Rocha, Julita, did you want to say something?
Yes, I'm from Brazil. I'm Brazilian. I'm a part of Africa because Brazil is a part of Africa. I love everything that I see here. And my family is black, is brown, is white, is a mix of everyone. And I love the Africa culture because the Africa culture is our culture as well. And the food from Africa, everything we are from Africa, and I'm so happy to celebrate here, because Africa is my country as well. It's all.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jolita. So anybody else want to share something before I move on to the next person? In case you have something you want to share, probably one person, and then we can move on.
Hi. Hello, everybody. My name is Donovan Humphrey Franco. I am ambassador for planetary health. I speak here from Brazil, from the city of São Paulo. I was very moved by Menzi. It is something very special. I am a descendant of the Tuareg people of the Sahara Desert in North Africa. I am very honored to be able to be here today celebrating with you. Many thanks to Vanessa Góes for the wonderful invitation to today's event and to be part of Acopphe. I also thank you for showing everyone how your Brazilian culture is so connected with the African one. Thank you all so much for this wonderful event. Thank you.
You're welcome, Donovan.
Thank you, Donovan.
Hello.
Thank you, Donovan. So I think I'm going to share just very, very briefly and just a little bit. And before I do my share, I'm also going to just very briefly introduce a few members of the executive team within Acopphe who are present today. So we have Vanessa Goes, who I think maybe you've already done your introduction down there in the chat. You're typing. Thank you. So because of time, I will not go into details, but Vanessa is making really great and important contributions in the leadership of Acopphe. We have Mona, and Vanessa, obviously, you just heard from her. She's from Brazil. We have Mona El Sharbini, and she will also introduce herself sometime soon. And she is from Egypt. So that's another member. And then we have Walia, Walia Nyangulungu, who may be driving, but if Walia, you're able to show your video just really briefly and wave or have Chichi wave, that will be okay. Walia is based in South Africa.
I just arrived.
Beautiful. So yes, so we have Walia. And then we have Nathan. I don't know if Nathan is still with us. Nathan, if you are there, if you can wave a little bit. Nathan is in California. And then we have me, Nightingale, and I'm currently in Illinois. So beautiful to be here together. So we just wanted, like I said, to celebrate this day together with you. And so a lot of what we're doing is sharing the beauty, the culture in the spaces where we come from. So I will share a little bit of that from my end. So again, like we said, our theme today is celebrating our shared beauty and diversity and building planetary communities in Africa and beyond. And like we see, we have Africa, coming from Africa, we have all dispersed to different places for different reasons, thanks to some of us who are away from home now, and others who, thanks to your ancestors, to our ancestors, you have found yourself in different parts, but we're still all very connected. And there's so much beauty, there's so much diversity that we see, even not just by the dance like we saw from Vanessa, but even if you look at the pictures of the people that you can see or the videos of the people that we saw, just the beautiful diversity, how different and yet how alike we all look and how one we really are. And so just saying thanks to Mama Africa that you birthed us and that we're here now. It's up to us to think about how we can build those communities of love. We may come, because of the nature of life, we may come from a place that there has been a lot of pain, but deep within us, we are healers. And so we can find ways within ourselves and in our communities to heal ourselves, to heal our friends, our communities, and even to think about the natural space and how it serves us, to think about the planet, how it serves us, to think about the rest of nature, the rest of the living beings, the plants, the bugs, the insects, the animals, and just how we can maintain that balance. And so just this is to say, and then there's diversity, there's also trickling to other parts of the world. But look at the pictures I have just very briefly, just trying to showcase just the beauty in different parts of the world. So this is Northern Africa. And you can see that these, from what I see, because it's a picture that I gathered, these people seem so grounded, and they also seem so smooth and so skilled. Just the beauty that we see in our people. This is Morocco. And then there's food. And anywhere that we connect, there's food. When we have food, we're happier. And so really, again, just wanting to showcase some of the things that bring us together, and different foods from different places. I know I have porridge from Jamaica, but that's also the kind of porridge that we drink. There's food here that's eaten in Ghana. There's food eaten in Ethiopia. There's just different places. So again, for me today, it was just to showcase the beauty of diversity and to say that in togetherness, we can go far. We can heal ourselves. We can heal together. We can cry together, and we can laugh together still. So glad to be here. Most welcome, everyone. And I'm gonna now pass this on to Mona. But before I pass it on to Mona, I'll just kind of steal a little bit of the space and share a song from my community. Is a boy singing a song in his community, and he's tried to be as grounded as he can be in the wealth and the beauty and the love of the people who came before him. So I will share this just very briefly.
Mwamukeri magongo na mandwairo Ngai uri mbere tutingihotwo ni thu Mwene nyaga twakuhoya Tuhoyaga wendani na gitio Na tha nyingi cia wendo wa ruriri Uiguano wa Gikuyu na Mbumbi Mwene nyaga twakuhoya Twakuhoya tukona na tuithuothe Kuma Ngong'u nginya Karematura Hindi ĩyo kĩeha nĩ gĩgathira Jamba siaita na siaito ekamatimo.
So thank you. Just next, wanting to see if Mona, you can come in and share with us. Most welcome.
Thank you so much, Nightingale. I hope you can all hear me well. And please, Nightingale, if you can make me the host so that I can share screen. First of all, I'm Mona Shirbini. I'm a medical doctor based at Cairo University, Egypt. And I have a lot of passion, and like many in my situation, I have ambitions for Africa development in science and technology. And as is often the case with such grand dreams and plans, there is a hitch. And multidisciplinary research is hard to do and cognitively demanding, and at the same time it remains challenging because of this ever-changing modern world that we are living, and the many tools that we have to learn and master. And at the same time, if we do not produce, we won't thrive. And no matter how much we are skilled or talented, we need to cultivate more in the space of Africa in research and development. And at the same time, we need to have this togetherness spirit and cultivate more with our connections to the whole global South. So I was really inspired by Vanessa's talk, Menzi, Julita, and also I'm so happy that many of the mentoring research network members are present here: Kevijinja, Dr. Noha, Percy, Aishetu, and Francoise. So I'm sending you all my greetings, and also I was so connected with Donovan and his talk. I'm really am welcome you to this space. So it is just the beginning. We had Vanessa with us, and we really acknowledge her work with us, and it's giving us a lot of energy and a lot of knowledge also to build on. So without much delay, Nightingale, if you can let me be the host so that I can share a 3-minute video about the work I'm doing within the Acopphe space.
See if you're able, can you try and share? I think you should be able to share.
Yes, thank you so much. So this video, I shared it before for the MRN members. So this is just to encapsulate everything about the work we are doing and the objectives of the Mentoring Research Network.
Our strength as MRIN is rooted in mentorship. Our group is made up of seasoned culture. Another important aspect of the MRIN is the emphasis on networking.
Our objectives: to strengthen a collaborative network for cross-disciplinary knowledge exchange.
And on health, sanitary health, and equal health. You know, they have achieve sustainable.
Promoting skills development by mentoring early career researchers.
My name is Anna, and I'm part of the Mentoring Research Network. And the reason why I became a part of the Mentoring Research Network is because
to leverage discussions with key policymakers at national and continental level.
Together, I believe we can make Africa great again. It was never done for us, and whatever we do would not be for ourselves. We're trying to make the world a better place for the generation that is coming right behind us, for a bit of ourselves that will still continue to be on earth, and for the generations yet on board.
Okay, so thank you so much for bearing with me. I know that the internet was a little bit, but apart from that, I would really love to thank Nathan Nightingale, Vanessa, and Walia, everyone who had made effort to make this celebration true, and from others that we need to always celebrate our identity, our heritage, and be proud of what we have as our past, and at the same time to learn from navigating our presence and to build on for a bright future for more generations to come, inshallah. So thank you so much, and back to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mona. Again, Mona is speaking from Egypt, and the other person I know that's in this space is also Dr. Noha. So if we have like a minute or so, if anyone would want to speak to what has transpired so far, no pressure at all. But again, you're welcome. Feel very free to speak up at this point as we prepare to hear from Walia. Walia is another one of our executive team members. So just be quiet for about a few seconds to see if anyone wants to speak. And if you want to say something, just take the mic and go, please.
Greetings. May I say a little something?
Yes, please, Manzi. Most welcome.
No, I'd like to give thanks again, for this gathering. It's quite, it's getting chilly here. So that's why I've changed my Zulu hat to the beanie that I'm wearing now. But what Mona has just shared, I remember seeing it before in one of our gatherings. The map going from place to place reminds me again of what I said when we spoke about that the children of Africa are everywhere, and indigenous people. Everybody is indigenous. No matter where you find yourself, you're indigenous to that place. But what I'm reminded of when I was looking at that, what I was reminded of mostly when I was looking at that is our interconnectedness. This great web or network of compassion, of people, just the network of love, the network of people moving and living in different places, the network of co-creation, I just wanted to say that I appreciate the fact that, I was writing to my brother now, or someone who is in Cameroon, because I remembered as I was looking at that map, what Mona was sharing, I remembered that some of the people that are from Southern Africa are coming from Cameroon, and then some of the people in Brazil are also coming from Cameroon and Angola and Mozambique, and so and one of my teachers, lastly, one of our elders, Credo Muta, who was a sage, passed away at the age of 99 or 99, I think last 2020 or something. He spoke about how in the Far East, far East, there is such the cultures there are so interconnected with the cultures of South Africa. Far East, you can talk about, he was mentioning names, he had a whole list, but I am just humbled by this reminder that Acopphe is a reminder to us to return somehow to our primary, to our interconnectedness that I think we've always had, even in ancient times, trading together, moving to and fro together all across the world. So I just appreciate this. And of course, appreciating each other's languages. So give thanks for that. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Menzi. So just very briefly, this one is to celebrate with you, Mona and Noha. So let's see if it comes through. Okay, so thank you again, Mona. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your presence. And if you want to say anything about that music, you're welcome. I'm Mona, Noha, or anybody else who would like to say on chat about that music. And Mona, yes, you can speak to it if you want to speak to it a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, just a little bit because now it's like sunset. Sorry, I'd better write in the chat.
Okay, thank you, Mona. So Walia, are you ready to come in?
Yes, I should be. Let me put my video on. Let me just... So good evening, everybody. It's evening here, so good morning for those who it's morning for, good afternoon for those who it's afternoon for, and if it's nighttime and you happen to be up at 12 o'clock, good early morning. Thank you so much for being with us. I've had a crazy day. Just one of the very wonderful things about being African, because looks like I've just made it in African time to be here, what we call African time. I don't know if any one of you are familiar with that. My name is Walia Lungu, and I am an executive team member of Acopphe. Nightingale just called me by my whole government name, like putting my middle name in there, and I'm cool with that as well. My name, Walia, and my other name, Nyangu, are Bemba from Zambia, and one from the northern province of Zambia, the northern part of Zambia, and the other one from the eastern part of Zambia. So that's the Nguni part of me. And Menzi has spoken about the Nguni people, but I'm generally part of the Bantu people, coming from Zambia, being born in Zambia. But I reside in South Africa, which I also consider home. And I also consider Swaziland home, because these are places that I have lived in for a very long time. So I am very deeply connected to the soil, to these spaces as home. And when I found Acopphe through a friend of mine, because we were always talking about how can we make a change? How can we do something for our continent? And she said, you know what, you're always talking about decolonization, you're always talking about this. Why don't you come and join this group? Just see what it's about. And then I had no idea I was going to end up coming here and falling in love with the group, the team, the people, and what we stand for and what we hope to do for the future. in terms of trying to, get Africa on the map, celebrating Africa and Africa beyond the borders, as Menzi spoke about earlier on, because we have Africa out there in all its forms. And when you keep peeling back the layers of where everybody comes from, we peel back, we find that, hey, we all have the same common ancestor. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm using my iPad. I'm doing this for the first time. So I hope that it picks up what I wanted to pick up. Come on. Oh, okay. Nightingale, it's telling me that only you can share in this thing. Only the host can share. Are you able to? But everybody else managed to share.
Mona, are you co-host? I think so. Could you? Oh, Nightingale is back. She just her computer turned off.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I saw that.
But I think Mona is co-host.
Okay. I just wanted to, let me see if I can, let's see if I can quickly then just, oh my goodness, nope, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I still can't share the content.
Oh, Nightingale is back.
Yes, Mona, you are host. If you can please make Walia co-host also. Sorry, my computer just went off.
No problem.
It should work now.
Let's see. Yes, there we go. Okay, so Microsoft OneDrive, and what do I have in there? Are you seeing my screen now?
Not yet.
We're just seeing a beautiful face. That's what we're seeing.
Good. Trying to get my my Microsoft OneDrive to open so that I can get connect, okay? So I can get my PowerPoint from there. Come on. Wow.
Oh, let me see.
Hello there, everyone.
Otherwise,
welcome, James. Welcome, James.
Thank you so much.
Brothers. Hello, brother.
So when I check, you don't seem to have the. Okay, yeah, you're co-host. Can you try and see if it works now?
Yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen? There we go. Okay. Okay, it's telling me. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
It's in your screen. All right. Let me switch my video off. Okay.
Yeah.
You're sharing screen. Okay, I get that. That's nice. Can you see my whole entire screen now?
Yeah, I can see your screen with all the icons.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to start the slideshow. So today we are celebrating our shared beauty and diversity of Africa in the diaspora. And I thought it would be nice to kind of give a view of the map of Africa if it had had no borders, pre-colonial, being based on literally just the languages that we have. I don't think all these languages exist to this day, but some of them have died. And it's also part of the reason why it's important that we keep on trying to recapture some of the things that we need, like our languages, our ways of doing things, because that will always help us to rebuild no matter how displaced that we get. And I'm sure some traces of the language of our languages you can find in the diaspora, as you can see. And even in India and in China on the Asian side, I remember I was having a conversation with someone and they said to me, you know, the word for getting married in isiZulu, ukshata, is the same in, I can't remember the language, but in Indian language, it's also the same. In one of the Indian language, ukshata. And we have also tribes, the lost tribes of Africa that are in India, like the Jara people. And so it's then makes it obvious that, you know, Africa has had a very big part in distributing or populating this earth. And we are very proud to be where we're from. I just absolutely love this quote, because if I've ever seen magic, it has been in Africa. Africa has been through a lot, but if you ever saw the spirit of African people, all the world, we're always dancing through things, we're always laughing through things, we're always joking through things, even when things are tough. And that is a spirit that is so supernatural to me, and it's so magical that you just cannot. And when you land your feet on the homeland, it gets even more spiritual and more supernatural, despite our challenges. And I love to think of Africa this way, and it's obviously an experience of quite a few people. There are a few things that I love about Africa. So this is, I just took screenshots of things that that really make me proud to be African, and really, keep me grounded and wanting and fighting for us to have a voice and to have a place and to do, be able to practice the things that we practice that can really heal our earth, bring us together in many different ways. So one big thing, is music and dance and performance. And this is just a real screenshot or a view of a society called the Nyao Society. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. The Nyao Society that is in Mozambique, Malawi, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. And it's a secret society of men who are custodians of our cultures. And at particular times of the year, they come out and perform. So they make these really elaborate masks and adorn these masks. And these masks are symbolic of gods and demons and of our past. And they come and perform basically telling whole stories about these legends of these gods and spirits, in how, how certain things came to be, and they perform like very interesting feats, like walking on stilts. Some of them appear to fly in midair, and just symbolizing that supernatural that I was talking about. And these are things that we don't want to lose, because in certain ways these are things that Africans, we know that we carry our history and our practices and our traditions and our beliefs in our bodies, in our blood, in our spirit. It comes out through our dance, it comes out through the way we dress, it comes out through the way we speak. And so this is one of the ways we express our history, and it's through this group called the Nyao. I've just been very brief, you can go and research them. They're very interesting secret society of people. The very next thing I love that connects us a great deal is our food. I think you can find quite a lot of commonalities of our foods, especially if you're using like milli meal on the as a base most of the time. But the food always gets me, always interesting. I'm always trying out foods from different places. Sometimes it's not something new, it's just cooked differently. And so, you know, I think that's one thing that really unites us, but it's also something that's very important to our health. The way in which we prepare food, the way in which we plant food or grow food, the way in which we store it, the way in which we process it, all of those are very important to what we're doing, like what they did back then versus what we're doing now. You know, we import quite a lot of things now, and we know about people like Monsanto and their agenda within our food. So we need to fight to get back our older processes of how we dealt with food. And then our hair, what else can I say about our hair? Like, you know, this is another element of our culture that I think is very important. I think hair is how we can talk about it. I mean, you know, for a very long time, there are studies on just our hair. But I mean, have you ever seen anything so beautiful and stylish? But one interesting thing, there's a particular image which has many ways in which we do cornrows. And for the people who got enslaved and were taken overseas, they actually braided maps in their hair, and they just looked like hairstyles, but they were actual maps with which they were using to get to know where they were so that they could escape. So there is so much that goes into our braiding and what it says, and even the different types of braiding that we do. So it's, as much as it looks stylish, it's hot, it's, you know, it's the thing, but it's also has played a very important part in at some points of our liberation as a people. I'm going really quickly because I know we don't have time. Now, this is one of my absolute favorites. We are a very theatrical nation. If you don't watch Nollywood, I don't know what to say to you, because I mean, the way in which I love the way in which my Niger people colonize the English language, you know, and that just speaks to the way in which we are such a vibrant people. Also, the way Nollywood has, you know, in terms of the arts, pushed the boundaries of trying to tell our stories from our perspective and our way, and not caring, you know, whether we had the best editing on all of that, but the content of the films are just, you know, the stories. I normally follow the stories. Yes, we've had some bad acting, we've had some really bad lighting and all of that, but we did it our way, and we do it our way, and people get to watch these stories. I've seen in YouTube comments, oh, I'm from Jamaica, I'm watching, oh my gosh, I love this. I'm from this way, I'm from that side, you know, all corners of the earth, watching our stories being told. And to me, that speaks of a kind of resilience, you know, of us and how we do things. We do it our way. And people may not like it because of prior propaganda, but they eventually come and they eventually look and they eventually copy. So if you know, this is just one of my favorite things. And I think that, you know, some of these things we can actually look and mine. I'm a person who sees research in everything. So I see research in film, I see research in hair, I see research, so many things that could come out of these things. So we need to really pay attention, look at these things, don't shun what it is. They might not be done according to Western standards, but this is a reminder that we need to create our own standards of judgment where everybody can contribute and share with the world as well. Sorry, that was not supposed to be there. I had just put what you call it, this came in by mistake, but I had put a picture of a mask. So, and that mask was to speak about the detail that we put into our work. And that the language, that is language, that is visual text. So when they say Africans didn't write down their history, I say that's a lie. We didn't write it the way you wanted us to write it, but we wrote it in our way, which was through the masks, through the buildings. If we didn't write our history, our stuff wouldn't be sitting in a museum that is not on our land, which people can actually tell stories from. And so that's a very big thing for me. I'm going to end the slide there. And I'm going to hand over to Nightingale. Let's see if I can, am I still sharing? Let me stop sharing. Okay.
Okay, yes, there we are.
All right, there we are. So that's what I have to share with you today. I was trying to go through it really quickly. So I hope that I got my message across. Thank you so much, Nightingale.
Thank you so much, Walia. Yes, I'm gonna be going for some hairstyling here soon. It's really your talk really takes us back to the roots and connects us to those things that happen on a day-to-day basis, and some of them we don't think about them because they have become such a big part of us. So thank you for reminding us of that. So I'm gonna attempt to share the screen again in thankfulness to you, Walia, and see if you agree with this.
Called Nsongwe Kunda. So
Okay, so that's a Zambian dance. Walia, please feel free to say something in. Oh, look at that! There's Walia doing the actual dance over there. If you saw the screen, please type a little bit, Walia, and tell us a little bit about it. And in the meantime, I'm going to invite a special guest that we have coming from. Well, I'm gonna let him actually introduce himself this time so that he can do justice on the invitation. I know him a little bit more than just a little, but I want to invite you, Ellie. Let's see, Ellie, are you there? And are you able to come in? And anyone who has any comments on what has transpired so far, please again, don't be shy. Give thanks to the people who shared, and in chat, just put your messages in chat and share with them.
Now is a problem now. He's inside. He's sleeping. Daddy has tried to wake him up until.
Yeah. Nike, are you there?
Yes, I hear you, James.
Can I make a small comment for the presentation?
Yes, yeah, feel free. Just make it short.
I think it's good, and this reminds us of where we come from, our origins, our culture, our dress codes, and a lot of the list go on. So I don't want to take too many of this, but it's also remind you your setting and then know your descendant and where you come from. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, James. I know we did not remember to put in the countries where we come from, but I do know that James is from Liberia, and I know that like the stilts and the good and bad devils, and it's just so rich culture in that community. And Liberia also has a very interesting history that if you don't know about it, you can look it up and learn a little bit more about it. So thank you, James, for sharing and for being here. So checking with you, Ellie, to see if you're there and if you're able to share.
I'm going to share. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. And Mona, could you please make Ellie a co-host so that he can share?
Just wanted to say one thing about the Nyao dance. It's interesting because I have seen a similar thing in the Nollywood films about the masquerades. I'm not sure what the masquerades do, but they also adorn these costumes, and I think I've seen it in Cote d'Ivoire as well. And it's very interesting because the Bantu people migrated from the Nigeria, Congo, Cameroon area. Nigeria, Cameroon area. That tradition probably comes all the way down south, southeast to where Zambia, Malawi, and Zimbabwe have this tradition. I'm not sure if it's the same. I'd be interested to meet with someone from Nigeria who knows about the masquerades and have a conversation to see the similarities. So I'm putting it out there, my Niger family.
Thank you. Thank you, Walia, for sharing. So let's see. Okay, Ellie, can you please see if try and see if you can share now?
How do I do this? I've got my short slide presentation.
Okay, so at the bottom of the screen, you will see a green arrow pointing upwards, and you click on that and say share screen.
Okay.
And then you'll see another screen pop up and it will say share. So you click on that.
Can you see it?
Not yet. There's no screen up yet. So
I think.
Yeah. But you see the share screen at the bottom, right? You click on the share screen. And as Ellie prepares, anyone else is welcome to say a word or two as we prepare to go. I think maybe Nwabufo, Francois, I thought I heard you saying something. You can share if you have something to say now.
Okay.
Or anyone else.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening to you. Yes, we hear you well.
Okay, okay. Well, actually, I wanted to share because when I see the beautiful dance from Africa, I really think of the time that is being put such a beautiful piece, and I begin to reflect on the busy schedules that we all have these days. I said, do we still have time to come up with those kind of beautiful dance that really depicts culture and some values? And I was just so amazed and see how people could really set time apart, just like we are setting time apart now, really for Africans to Africans' culture and values to be seen. And these are things that will really be difficult to be effaced. It will take time, so our children, other generation will keep watching it and then probably ameliorate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Francois. We really appreciate that. Anyone else want to say something? Ellie, how are you doing?
I'm doing bad because I'm trying to share this, but it's not working.
Okay. I think if it's not working, we can have you speak. If you are able to share with, send it to me, then I can share it. And just real quick before you start speaking, could you tell me where you're getting stuck? And I hope you guys understand we are working together in this. So you have the share screen, and
yeah.
So when you click on share screen, then you're going to probably see on the screen the images that you may want to show. And if you have various things open on your computer, then you'll have to identify which one you want to share, and you click on that. If you double click on it, then it'll just pop up. But you have to first have shared, have clicked share screen.
All right, give me a moment. Give me a moment.
Okay. So as we wait for Ellie, I'm going to share something. And if anyone wants to speak, please raise your hand, or just because we might not, I might not hear you over the music. But I want to share a song that gives us a small preview to what Ellie is about to talk about. So, and Ellie, I do know, is from Kenya. So I'm going to share this one. And it is a song that's done by a child who was born in Kenya a long time ago. He was born to British parents. He was born during the time of, the colonial times. But this child still connects so deeply with the place that he still calls home. So here we go.
You've only got one mama, you only got one pa, you've only got one life to live, no matter who you are. You can go the whole world over, every city has its dawn, but everybody living has one place where he was born. and mine is Kenya. So warm and wild and free, you'll always stay with me here in my heart. My land is Kenya, right from your highlands to the sea. You'll always stay with me here in my heart, here in my heart.
Let's, now you see his pictures. Let's see the actual song with some images.
And mine is Kenya, so warm and wild and free. You'll always stay with me here in my heart. My land is Kenya, right from your highlands to the sea. You'll always stay with me here in my heart, here in my heart. You've only got one childhood and the memory that springs when you see your house, the tree you climbed, and all those precious things. The faces of the friends I had, the images that fall. When I close my eyes in the land I love, the land where I was born. My land is Kenya, so warm and wild and free. You'll always stay with me here in my heart. My land is Kenya, right from your highland.
Okay, so I'll just take a pause there, and I just want to say very briefly, sorry I had my video off, but I just want to say very, very briefly about Roger Whittaker, who again, he was born in Kenya. He was born during the colonial times. And so when you think about pain and oppression, you can say he was a child of the oppressor. But again, then the other question that we ask, that is at least I ask, it's not an easy question, it's a difficult question, is that we are all children at some point. We are all innocent at some point. We are connected to the place where we are born, and we never get to choose where we're born. We can make choices in later years, but we are so much advised by our ancestors, our leaders in the places where we find ourselves. But my main thoughts, my main message is just to say, to mention the word forgiveness, and to see where we can forgive, and we can love, and we can heal. So just wanted to touch on that. And if anybody else wants to come in on that, you are welcome. Vanessa, if you're there, or Menzi, you can take over. And I'm going to be opening Ellie's presentation. It's on my end now.
Menzi, do you want to start? Okay, I'm here. Yeah, it was lovely, really. I don't think I have words to say. I think I already said everything. It's just so good to take time, you know, with no content, right? We are used to do like scientific meetings, and it's like the cultural content and just sharing, enjoying images and sounds and words and experiences. It's so good to take time like that. So I'm very grateful for being part of this community and for sharing with us, and also rescuing all my ancestrality with you. So yes, let's make it bigger and bigger so we can spread in the world and save this lovely planet. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So much. Thank you so much, Vanessa. I totally agree with you. So Ellie, the floor is yours. Just let me know when you want me to advance the slides, and I will.
Yeah. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eli Gatungu. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. And I work and own a safari company. But more to that, I'm more into conservation of natural beauty and people, especially the children. Right now, I'm just doing a brief slide presentation of the beauty of Kenya. And these are photographs that I've taken myself of the Maasai young man, or rather the Maasai warrior. And you can tell by the look of him, he's a very handsome boy who's doing nothing but beautify himself and putting up on makeups on his face and hair, and they look gorgeous people. And more to that, one of the other things that we do is thinking about Africa, and Africa with its people, and with its cultural diversity, as we have a very broad cultural diversity. And one of the other things that we do is to plant the indigenous trees, and the indigenous trees are the trees that were found here by our great grandfathers. And so that's one of the things that we do. And we do it with a lot of passion. And so these are some of the animals that we have in Africa. Lions, you get very close to them. And many people are always worried about the beauty and about how dangerous these animals are. But what I always tell people is that you as a human, we as humans, you are more dangerous than these animals. Like, let's go to the next one. Next one. Next.
Okay. Is that it, or the next one?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. These are footprints, and I always emphasize on the footprints that whatever we eat, whatever we hold with our hands that has been made by humans, the only thing we can afford to leave behind us are pretty much the footprints that we leave behind. And that is one of my big messages to every tourist, every person I see along the way, every child that I see along the way is let us keep it clean. And all we need to leave behind are the footprints. Next. Next one. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we do hear you. Sorry, I think my screen is a little bit slow.
Yeah. As my name is Eli. I'm sure you can tell what's in front of me is an elephant. Eli for the elephants. And one of the big advocacies of the elephants and their trunk, because if you look at Africa in general, we have lost a tremendous number of animals and being led by the elephants. And the elephants loses their lives just because of their tusks. Think about such an animal that would live up to about between 60 and 70 years old. I mean, why would we kill these animals just because of their tusks? That is very, very disturbing. And my encouragement and my lesson that I always give people is that please help us and let's help the elephant to survive. And we will live a better life with the elephants as opposed to wiping them out because of the ivory. Next. Go to the next one. Now, flamingos, we know that we are losing the diversity of, or rather the numbers of flamingos. And this is purely because of the global warming. And the global warming is coming because of various reasons. And the lakes are getting higher every day. And the flamingos, what they eat what we call the blue-green algae. And the blue-green algae is disappearing because of the high level of water rising up every day on the lakes, on the rivers. And so we are losing that. And our hope and our education comes from, all they go into the children of, different schools that we work with. We always encourage people to think about everything we do to quit the global warming that is going on around the world. Next. That's a beautiful bird. It's a saddle-billed stork. Again, they are all, we're losing these birds as well because of the global warming, which is, really, really something that we should always avoid and prevent. But this has to go to the highest level of governance of every country in Africa. Next. Oh, that's an ostrich. And again, we're losing them because of the stolen eggs of the ostriches. People come to different parts of Africa and they want to steal the ostrich shells and they go beautify their houses. And that is tremendously horrible to see them, losing the numbers. Because they're not able to raise they're not able to lay on their eggs and hatch them. They're stolen before that takes place, and that is not good at all. So my education to people is that how about we quit doing that and we make them survive. These are leopards. Leopards are in what we call the big five. The big fives are the buffaloes, elephants, rhinos, and the lions. And these are animals that are truly hunted just for trophy. How about we just tell people that we need to quit killing these animals? And one of the biggest conservation development that we just did last year was to campaign through United Nations to put the animals in the to have a human right. Instead of having a human right, we need to have a wildlife act that is called the Wildlife Conservation that is going to prevent all the animals from being killed, and animals will have their right. So now we just did a big conference last year and a bit of this year that is called the Wildlife Rights. Remember, we have human rights and the wildlife rights are just being commenced earlier this year, which we've been campaigning for very, very long time. So big bravo to us that we've been able to do that, and we are very, very happy to do that. But in every country, we need to think about wildlife rights. And wildlife rights does not only deal with the wildlife, but it deals with both the wildlife and domestic animals. Because even a dog has got a right now. A chicken has got a right now. A little pet has got a right now. So big bravo to us for doing that kind of work. Next. Yeah, these are pride of lions in the Masai Mara in Kenya, where we have some amazing, incredible numbers of lions. But again, the numbers are not doing good because of human-wildlife conflict. by people getting too close to the national parks, and their livestock get killed by lions or leopards. And so when we get the tourists, we always encourage them to help in terms of protecting these animals, because if we don't protect them, we will lose a lot in terms of when it comes to both conservation and tourism benefits of these animals. Now, this is a black rhino. Unfortunately, the horn of the rhino is made out of keratin, and keratin is the same material as our fingernails. And I'm sure we have enough people who just cut their fingernails recently. And one thing we should always do is to make sure we protect these animals as much as we can, because if I'm not wrong, we have got less than 4,000 rhinos in the entire Africa that are still left in the wild. And so when we protect them, we protect our natural beauty. And our natural beauty is both our wealth and at the same time, our beauty. And so we need to think about conserving these animals by showing them to our children. We take the children to national parks here in Nairobi, and that's why we start our education and in conservation of young brain, and they will always live a better life by education of the children. And that's it. That's Ellie. And I hope that I was brief and clear to everybody. And please help me help ourselves in conserving any animal that is around you or near you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ellie. We are nearing the end of our gathering, but I do want to also say a very special thank you to Ellie. Ellie, so just about a month ago, I was in Kenya, and Ellie was quite instrumental in bringing the planting of indigenous. So he donated some trees, some indigenous trees to a school. And he also orchestrated the planting of, I forget, maybe like 40 indigenous trees. And so the goal is for the children to be educated about what these traditional trees are all about and what they mean to them as, in their own cultures, because these are children that also come from different tribes, again, within Africa. But the main message is that if we can move this education forward, we pass the knowledge that we have forward. So thank you, Ellie. Ellie has been in this work for quite a while. I don't know the details of how long you've done this, Ellie, but I do know that it's what you're saying is so true, that you have been a huge advocate of conservation, planting indigenous trees, and passing on this knowledge to our children who are going to call us their ancestors as they bring in new generations if we continue living right. So I think for now, this is it. It was a day to celebrate again our diversity, to be together, to celebrate this International Day of People of African Descent. I will leave the floor open for about 3 to 5 minutes for anyone who wants to come in and share anything. We will have this recording available. We will send it to those people who are not in the Acopphe space, and then it'll also be shared in the Acopphe main WhatsApp page. So thank you all beautiful people for being here with us. It's meant a lot to me as a person, and it's meant a lot to us as the collective that has brought this gathering together. I want to give very special thanks again to Ellie for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and share with us. And maybe Ellie, if you want to share your email address in case people have questions about your work. I also want to give a very special thank you to Vanessa Goes of Brazil for, again, this is the executive team that has made this day possible, to Mona El Shabini of Egypt for, again, making this day possible, and to Alia Nyangulungu for making this day possible. Menzi, thank you so much for, again, making this day possible. And to all of us who have been here to celebrate with us, to hopefully heal in some way, to connect and to pass on the love from one and all. So I'll leave the floor open. I'll be searching for a song to share as we end, but I know in some places it's already pretty late and we also have other things to do. So thank you very much. I also, I think I do want to say something because I know about Raphael Kimosop. I think, Raphael, you may come from a place very close to Flamingo Land. And so maybe you and Ellie can connect. I know you're involved in research, and so you can connect with Ellie and see if there are things that, you know, you can discuss and talk about conservation in our future. So thank you very much. The floor is open for a few minutes if anyone wants to share something. So thank you to one and all. I see messages going on chat, and I do want to say our event is officially closed. I'll just have the song continue if anyone wants to add to chat, but in a minute, I'll close the meeting. So love to all of you, wherever you might be, peace and love from me, Nightingale, and from our larger Acopphe community.
What are you doing, my sweet mama? Yeah, mama, Africa.
Menzi, I see your hand up.
I wanted to say just good night to everyone and to blow something quickly. That's all I wanted to do, just that.
Thank you so much, Menzi. We really, really appreciate it. All right, dear ones, I think. Good night, Menzi. I think it is time for the meeting to end. You all have a good night, a good day, wherever you might be, a good afternoon, and we will reconnect again soon. Be well, everyone.
Good night. Good day.
Good night, Ellie, and thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for sharing your emails. Well, I guess I'll just leave it open in case anyone else wants to share or gather the emails that are posted here.
Right.
Good night, Martina. And thank you for being here the entire time. I think you're in Mauritius. Good night, Esther, and thank you for coming. Good night, Percy. Thank you to you all. So I guess if you missed something, if you missed an email or anything that you would like connected to from this event, please let me know, let any one of the executive team members know, and we will share it with you. So for now, it is good night. And it is good afternoon from where I am. Bye.
Good night, good afternoon.
Good night, Walia.